Dan,
DD.
it's just me and you again.
I had a friend hit me up this week and say that he's been enjoying brunch in 3D, and that would be DD and Dan. So welcome back to Brunch in 3D.
Well, welcome back to Brunch in 3D. I love it. Here's the question someone asked me this week about the Brunch Breakdown. They were like, so how is Chris posting every second on social media, but not doing the Brunch Breakdown? And I never thought about it. But I'm like,
Good question.
We know he's got things going on, but it's also like could you slow down the posting? I feel like he's posting more.
Right. Yeah. It's a lot of video content, a lot of editing, and a lot of posting going on. And yeah, for some reason increases when the weeks that he's not here. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but it is odd.
Yeah. It's a little weirding me out a little bit, but whatever. We'll see. But there is one thing that another thing that I do want to talk about with Chris is that he did some interesting poses recently on the Instagram that made me think that is Chris about to be a fitness model? Like one of those dudes who doing competitions.
Right.
Like they used to show on ESPN all the time with the guys holding their arms like this.
Tan, it's like it's like really bad. It makes no sense as to why it's that dark. But I don't know, but that is where my mind went to, because it's sort of like he was trending in that direction.
Yeah.
Are we all, switching the business model a little bit, and that's the next step. I don't know. TikTok fame is good enough for a lot of people, but maybe Chris wants to get up on the big stage and put some fake tanner on and
slick the hair back.
I don't know. Right.
But I did think of a great plan for the Brunch Breakdown if this does happen.
Okay.
So if Chris does start doing like these bodybuilding modeling competitions, pageants situations, we have to go to the cities and eat at the best brunch place possible and broadcast from there, because he won't be able to eat from there, but we will.
True.
So it'll basically be like torture for him as we talk about how we had the best egg Benedict sandwich with bacon and all this other shit, like while he has to, basically starve himself to get ready for the competition.
I think that's fair, because we're there, like, in a sense, we're there to support him. So he should be able to have to sit there and put up with us describing and enjoying those most delicious brunch and doing live broadcasts from there in support of him, because then he can get up on stage with his Brunch Breakdown thong, get our logo right on the backside, and we're there. We're cheering, baby, after that delicious chicken and waffles from an amazing local establishment. So I think we have a good team dynamic here where everybody wins. Can you see it? Can you see it, people? I'm sorry to do that to you, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Brunch Breakdown merch. We've got the Brunch Breakdown thong ready for the summer.
Ready for summer, baby.
Yeah, ready for the summer. Brunch Breakdown thongs. Wow. All right, we got to start the show. It's DD out here in Los Angeles. Dan is in Pittsburgh. Chris is wearing a Brunch Breakdown thong, and this is the Brunch Breakdown podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us today, as we're going to be talking about Top Gun. Me nor Dan have seen Top Gun. Chris has seen it, but he's not here. So this whole podcast today hasn't seen the OG Top Gun. And we're going to talk about that and our impressions from the first time watching this movie from 1986 in 2022. And also we're going to talk music too. Drake's new album, Honestly Nevermind, and Beyonce put out a new single, Break My Soul. And we'll also talk about whatever else we're listening to. And I know Dan went to a concert this week, so we'll be talking about that also. But Dan, let everybody know where they can find the Brunch Breakdown.
That's right. You can find the Brunch Breakdown everywhere that you can find podcasts. Simply search the Brunch Breakdown, hit follow, and hit subscribe. Let those episodes come to you typically each and every Wednesday. We're typically on a Wednesday release schedule. We know we're a little off this week, coming to you on a Friday. So thank you for your patience. But typically on Wednesdays, those episodes are ready first thing in the morning. So if you hit follow and you hit subscribe, they'll be ready whenever you are. So find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Like once again, every Wednesday, especially on Friday this week. Full video episodes also available the same day the podcast gets released, the audio podcast on our YouTube page and our Facebook page. Those will still premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, available on demand anytime you want to watch those after that as well. And of course, we are everywhere on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Triller, TikTok, which I'm going to get into it here in a few moments. TikTok at Brunch Breakdown. You can find us there. And of course, do not forget the extra loaded, the double stuffed, if you will, Sounds of Brunch now. We're going 2 weeks, double stuffed version. So last week's playlist and this week's playlist of what we're listening to, all crammed onto the Sounds of Brunch. That'll be ready for you on Friday, exclusively on Spotify.
Beautiful. All right. Well, now it's time to get random topics off our chests. And since you just kind of alluded to what you're going to do, why don't you get it off your chest, Dan? Go for it. Let everybody know what's on your mind.
Yeah. I alluded to a little bit, and you did too. We talked about me going to a couple concerts lately, and I have just a couple observations, kind of getting back into the swing of things. Concerts again, it's a regular thing for people. And I've just been noticing a couple of things more recently that I got to get them off my chest, man. We're in summer. We've just hit past the first day of summer earlier this week. So it's getting hot. There's this crazy heat wave crawling across the country, going up and down the coast. It's been wild. It's been unusually hot. So we're outdoors for shows, and you got to be aware of the weather and the temperature. And ladies and gentlemen, I cannot, stress this enough. Function over fashion at concerts and festivals. Function over fashion. Okay. A lot of fashion that's going wrong right now. You've got the baggy shirts, baggy clothes is kind of coming back in. When you're outdoors at a show and it's 90 degrees at 7 p.m., that's not a good selection for you. It's just not a good idea. Okay. No one's going to be admiring the clothes you're wearing when you're drenched in sweat, looking like an idiot because you chose fashion over function. People, be smart. Okay. Be smart, especially in those outdoor shows. Function over fashion for your clothing. Be smart. On that same note, if you're under 21, and the shows that I've been going to lately have a lot of people under 21 there. And that's just the way it is. If the only thing that you can legally purchase at the concession stand is water, then you should be purchasing it when it's 90 degrees outside. We were at a show earlier this week, and we witnessed people passing out constantly because they lined up all day out in the sun. They waited, they got inside, crammed in with a bunch of people, and got overheated. People, buy the water, drink the water. That's all you can afford and legally buy anyways. Hydrate, okay? The last thing I want to get off my chest, is I went to a show. I went to my man. I finally got to see my man Rex Orange County this past week. One of the shows that I got to see finally made his way to Pittsburgh. He was supposed to be at Coachella back in 2020, rescheduled, wasn't on the bill for this year. So finally got to see him. And he's not, as underground of an artist as he was back in, say, 2017, 2018, I think, when I first started listening to him. So I knew there'd be a bigger group of support there. This show sold out. The tickets, Didi, were, after fees, $70. There was not an opener. No opener. Damn. $70 sold out. Over 5,000 people in Pittsburgh. And it just, like I was talking about, the crowd was younger. And I'm like, me and my wife are witnessing this, and I'm just like, this is just annoying. It's the first time I'm seeing this guy. I don't want it to be with this huge sold out crowd. Like I was in a couple years ago. She's like, it's TikTok. All these kids here, they're all discovering these people and these artists on TikTok. And it's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying and I'm curious as to what people in the music industry and A&R, Didi, and you know these people, you're friends with these people. Like it kind of affects what they do. Like you and I used to discover music and you had to go and look for it, the undiscovered artist. Now it just gets trendy on TikTok. And I mean, it's good for them, but I feel like it's going to be extra hard for me because I used to like really enjoy that. Like find an undiscovered artist, go see them at shows with 100 people or less and like watch this evolution. And, you know, over time, now that process gets so sped up and everything is just in front of you that by the time you discover somebody that they're huge because of 1 or 2 songs on TikTok blows up and then you're paying $70 to see them at a sold out show for 5,000 people. And it's just crazy. And it just made me think like in a lot of ways that's good, but that's a reason that I hate it. I hate it. That's all I gotta say.
Daniel, this is ridiculous. Like, one, Rex Orange County has been big for a few years now.
I know. And I think that was probably it, is because I just hadn't had the chance to see him. So like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when I would have wanted to see him, it wouldn't have been sold out $70 ticket. I realized that, but he's not getting played on the radio.
No, but that should make you happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That should make you happy that like you still have this thing. It's just that a lot of people know him. It's in the thing that I think that's interesting that probably makes A&Rs crazy is that when a song goes big on TikTok or a couple songs go big on TikTok and you have this artist who they never really wanted to be that big, all of a sudden is that big. And then once they do their next album, they kind of like fall off because they were never supposed to be that big, but people consider that as a fall off. So people are like, well, that person's whack, instead of being like, this is where they were kind of supposed to be. Yeah. So I think about that when I think about like artists sometimes where it's like they were never supposed to be this big. Their song just caught on. And I think about that sometimes with the way that music is shared now. Yeah, no, that's really interesting point because I just wonder how it affects their job, because sometimes it's probably in a positive light, but other ways it can backfire because it can't take somebody to superstardom far too quickly because of a song. And then all of a sudden pressure's on way quicker than it used to be. So music's being shared in more ways than it ever has before. And I think that is a very, very good thing, but it just means it's going to, I'm going to have to work harder. I'm going to have to work harder to get in earlier than early now for what I used to like to do. That's all. Oh man, I love it, Dan. Old man brunch right there. That was nice. I like that. I like when you bring it. I like it. All right. I got to get this off my chest. I got a couple flights coming up very soon. I'm going to be doing some traveling because I got the Dance Awards. I'll be hosting that coming up in the next few weeks. And I just want to say this because there's a video that I saw that's been going viral for the last couple of weeks of a person with their shoes off, taking down the window shade with their foot. Barefoot on a plane, taking the window shade down. And I want to say this. Keep your shoes on the plane. Please. Keep your shoes on, keep your sandals on, whatever you got, keep them on. I don't want bare feet on planes. I don't want bare feet beside me. I think it's disgusting. Like, listen, if you want to take your shoes off, you got a long flight, fine. You got your socks on, I'll deal with that. But like, I don't want bare feet. And I for damn sure don't want your feet anywhere near a screen, anywhere near anything. Keep your feet down below your tray table. I don't want it on the seat. I don't want to see your feet. Keep them to yourself. Like, this is gross. And when things like this happen and go viral, I get very nervous that like I'm going to get stuck behind the 18 to 25-year-old person who decides that this is going to be funny and I'm going to take video of me doing this. And I am terrified as I have a flight to Vegas that I am terrified for, that like I have a feeling that someone's going to be doing this. I know the flight's short, but you go to Vegas to be an asshole, and why not start on the flight? And I'm afraid I'm going to be behind that person. So yeah. Anyways, keep your shoes on planes, please. It should be a law.
Like, don't mess with the smoke
Seriously.
detectors, no smoking, and keep your shoes on.
Yep.
It should be that simple. It really should.
Yeah.
You're right, though. It makes it worse that you're going to Vegas. So you've already got that crowd that's like, would do that just to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't have, shouldn't be allowed. You should be thrown off the plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck to you generally with flying right now, because it just doesn't seem like a good thing. That's all I got to say.
Dude.
How about this? If you could guarantee your flight was
on.
on time, if you saw a little, couple of piggly wiggly toes hanging out there, maybe you'd be okay with it, but maybe the sacrifice right now.
On the flight to Vegas, I'll deal because it's so short.
Yeah.
On the flight to Orlando, no.
Oof.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely
that's a
not.
long one. That's a long
No,
one
no,
for
no.
you.
I don't want to see your feet for 5 to 6 hours. No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Make it a law.
Nah. All right. Well, let's get into Brews Day, and let's talk about what we're sipping on. I wonder what Chris is sipping on. Maybe, I don't know, self-tanner.
He's been drinking that light beer shit lately, so
it
just kind of goes in line. That's probably what he's still continuing his little streak there. I know he doesn't necessarily enjoy it because of the lack of flavor, but he's watching that caloric intake, and that's where you lose the sacrifice. Flavor. It's too bad. What do you have?
All right. Well, I have an interesting one, and I am not drinking today because I have something I have to do like right after we're done with the brunch breakdown. So I'm not even going to make my body feel any comfortable because I don't feel like doing that. I want to shout out the Bullet mixed cocktails, the bottled cocktails. Okay, so I
just
tried
saw
this.
these. Okay,
I hadn't seen them before, right? I hadn't seen them before, and I love Bullet, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a shot because like the pre-mixed cocktails, that's becoming a big thing. Like basically everybody's making them, and I didn't know Bullet made them. So I picked up the old-fashioned one and I picked up the Manhattan one, and I will freaking tell you, this is fucking great. I'm not saying it's like the best Manhattan you've ever had, but if you don't feel like going through with all the bitters and the vermouth and doing all the stuff to try to make your Manhattan, you just want to have a Manhattan at your house. You maybe got some cherries or whatever at the crib or whatever you want to use with it. It's awesome because all I did, put a couple cherries in. I have a Manhattan at my house. No work, just this. And it's awesome. I'm telling you. And the old fashioned, same thing. Just bought my own orange with the peeling, perfectly fine. And it's great. I'm not saying it's like you going to some amazing bar that you had the best Manhattan or the best old fashioned in your life. No, that's not what's happening here. But it is an old fashioned and it is a Manhattan and it is good. And I'm just like, get them. Like, this is awesome if you're somebody who just wants to have a Manhattan or an old fashioned at times and like you don't feel like making it, or you don't have all the things to make it at your house. So do that. This is delicious, and I love it so much. Shouts to the Bullet.
Oh, that's amazing. Brunch Court meets Brews Day all in one.
Oh yeah,
right there. I just saw those and was super intrigued because I'm down with Bullet. I thought, okay, these have got to be good. If Bullet's going to become a strong, they got to be good. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm going to have to try them. That's awesome.
It's super good. I'm just saying, it's not going to be the greatest thing you've ever had. You're not going to be like, oh my God, this is so great. Like, no, it's just, you want a Manhattan, you got a Manhattan, and it's freaking, and it's good. And if you like Bullet, you're going to like it even more. So it's really good.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, I got a special one today. And it's courtesy of friend of the program, avid listener, Tyler Malone. Shouts to you, my friend. He hooked me up with a Southern Grist, and Southern Grist Brewing Company based out of Nashville, Tennessee, known pretty well as one of the best breweries in the country, one of the best craft breweries in the country, period. And I've had this for a little while, but it's finally been time. This is their Teal Hazy Ipa. It's New England IPA, and we were both running a little. We had a crazy day at work. We're both running a little late today. I'm not gonna lie, I had a sip already because I was ready for it. But I can tell you, citrusy, hazy, but very smooth. There's a great balance between the bitter and the citrus. It's citrus heavy, over the bitter, very smooth, just like the right amount of sweetness too. Just the right amount of sweetness. This is a great summertime. It almost looks like it's made for summertime beer. The Teal Hazy IPA from Southern Grist Brewing Company. Shouts to you, Tyler, my man. She's a beaut.
I love that can.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
I love that can. You know, I love a hazy IPA. I love that it's called Teal. I love all of that. That's amazing.
Yeah. This has got your name written all over it. So if he's listening, he could, hook somebody else up.
I know. Why don't you send me some, Tyler? Let's go. Send me some. Well, that is what we are sipping on, Dan. Cheers.
Cheers indeed. I'll enjoy for both of us.
Yes, enjoy for both, please. All right. Well, let's get into the main course, and it is Top Gun. Do you have the need for speed, Dan? After watching OG Top Gun, by the way, not the new Top Gun, OG Top Gun, me nor Dan had seen, and starring Tom Cruise, 1986. This thing came out, and my first initial thought, 2 minutes and 51 seconds in.
Oh boy.
Because I paused it.
Okay.
This is so 80s. Like, it's wild how 80s this thing is. Because you got to think, like, you were born in 86, right?
Yep.
86. I'm 85. And so the 80s to us are not exactly like, it's like we're more of 90s people, because it's like the end of the 80s, like we don't remember those. We're like 4, 5, 6, whatever years old. So you don't really remember those. But so when I see it's something that's so 80s, I'm like, man, that's old. And that's how I felt in the first less than 3 minutes of this movie.
No, I'm 100% with you. And I had to, and almost probably the same time frame. I didn't make a mental note of it, but it happened early on in the first few minutes where it was like, you have to mentally prepare yourself for an 80s movie, right? You have to like get into character almost and be like, this is an 80s movie. This isn't made for me. It's not made for today. Let's go back. This was amazing at the time. And just think, we've seen 80s movies, but you really do have to like shift your brain back in time and go back into like embrace that era. Cause otherwise you're like, this is trash. Like the whole thing, the production, the story, the music, but 80s movie, you have to put it in perspective of those other 80s movies. And that can be difficult sometimes, but we've been on a little bit of a trend here, and whatever we're calling these segments of like extremely popular movies that the Brunch Breakdown has never seen. Some of them have tended to be in that time frame, that 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So I'm getting a little bit more of the hang of it. It didn't take me quite as long to get into it, maybe as it did like with Goodfellas when we watched that, and some other ones that we've watched. So yeah, definitely have to just be fully aware of what's happening before you sit down and watch this movie, or otherwise it's over before you even get started.
Dude, the reason why I know the 2 minute and 51 second mark is because I had to pause it and like literally like talk to myself. I'd be like, I almost sent you a text and said, dude, I'm not going to watch this. Like, we got to, let's just do something else. Songs of the Summer or something. Let's figure it out. But I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do this. But I literally had to take a lap. I had to get up. I had to go to the room, pour a little bullet. I had to do that. And then I could get through this thing. But man, it is just, I didn't realize, because I had no idea. Like, I had no idea that there is so much of the plane stuff. So much of the military stuff. I thought that was just kind of like a backdrop. It was like, this is what they do, but really there's other stories. There's more fighting involved and whatever else that happens, but like, it's really not this. So I was just like really thrown by the fact that like they were really like flying all the time, and it wasn't all that fun to watch.
That's what was most interesting, is how many like air scenes there were flying these planes, and that it really does take up a majority of the movie. And like, yeah, there were certainly instances where it's like, man, this this doesn't need to be this long.
No,
Like
no.
we're getting a little bit too deep into the woods here. You know, but it wasn't super boring necessarily because of that, but it was so much of the movie that it was surprising. I don't know if it made it seem maybe a little bit faster for me, because like the rest of the movie was like less. It was like half of it was like the rest of the scenes was like half of the movie. So it's like you're just like, okay, planes. All right. What does he say? What's going on? And like the scenes like in the air of the actual flying of like, you know, this going on. And it's like, I don't know which plane is which. They're just, you don't know. You're like, okay, I think he's behind the plane in this one. So he's the plane in the back. So like trying to piece that together, I was just like, okay, all right, you know, but that did surprise me how much of it was like action scenes in the air on the plane. And that's like the bulk of the movie. Like the other storylines and dramas were like layered in, but it was mostly flying.
Yeah. Like I didn't know like who was cutting off who was mad at who. Like I was like, what is happening? I have no idea what's happening. I was like, maybe if I saw this in like the movie theater, like maybe it would have been different or something like that. But also I don't know. But I will say the first thing I would talk about here is Goose dying during practice.
Yeah.
There had to be a better way to kill off one of the characters we're supposed to like in this movie. Like, I'm like, he died during training. Like, what? And that was like acceptable? Like, people love this movie. And I'm like, you got rid of the comic relief in this movie, killing him in training. Like Bubba Gump went out in war. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he went out in war. Like you don't kill off the comic relief in the movie in practice. I can't. I honestly, that happened, and I was like basically blacked out for the rest of the movie. I don't even know what the hell happened at the end. I honestly, that happened, and I was like, wait, did I miss something? Did the plane get shot down? What happened? Nothing. He just died. Stupid.
It was very anticlimactic in that way. And then it was surprising because it happened then. I was shocked. Because I've heard a lot of things about this movie. I'd never heard that. I've never heard that. So I didn't even like, spoiler alert, know it was coming. So it was like surprising that it happened then. Because then they like cut to Tom Cruise after he's like pulling him out of the water or whatever. They cut to Tom Cruise like splashing water on his face, and it walks in and he's like, Goose is dead. And they like kept like washing his face like he knew. He's just like, am I still bleeding up here a little bit? Like, what? This is it? This is the like.
That scene made me laugh because I was like, wait, so Goose is really dead. Mm-hmm. And Tom Cruise, his next line is literally, I know.
He's just like, I know.
What?
We couldn't have built that up a little bit better. Yeah, that was just poorly done altogether. Poorly done. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Poorly done. I was like, I don't know. It sucks for Goose. Like, why did he have to go out like that?
Yeah. Like, I get you want, he's going to die in the movie. But yeah, practice.
Yeah. Practice.
Better way.
What else stood out to you in this film?
The one thing that stood out to me, probably the most, it was like one of the first things I noted down was, I will die a happy man if I never have to hear "Take My Breath Away" ever again. My gosh. Like, the budget for this film must have been so low that they had two songs in one, and that's theirs, and that's good. But then "Take My Breath Away," like over and over and over and over, and it would like not even be far apart. It'd be like the music, a small scene, the music again. Like, I was getting ready to turn it off. And like, if they keep playing this, I'm going to lose it. Like that. Way too much of that. Way too much. And again, it was all, and it made me think 80s again. I'm like, what? Movies aren't done that way anymore. They're not playing like hit songs. That had to have been a popular, I don't know what year that song came out, but there's just, music isn't used that way in music anymore. It's all original stuff. So it's just like, oh, that, hearing that 80s music, but in particular, Take My Breath Away, that I could have done without. That was starting to get on my nerves. But that was like one thing.
1986.
Same year. Okay, so it was
same year.
See, like, can you envision that? Like a song coming out like on a movie and like they're using a Dua Lipa song like constantly. It's just not happening anymore. It's crazy.
Dude, the romance in this movie was so 80s because of course it was somebody hot for their teacher.
Yeah, right.
What on earth was wrong with people in the 80s that they were all obsessed with their teacher or the person I never got into it because the first time we see this woman when they sing to her, which weird.
Go ahead.
And then him going into the bathroom. Weird.
Well, yeah. Good idea,
weird.
Bad idea. Good idea, bad
all
idea.
Of it weird. I just thought, I was like, who is this old woman? I thought it was a joke. I didn't know this was going to be the love interest. I thought like it was somebody's mother. Like I thought it was like them doing a military prank or something like that. No, this was the person he was going to be with in this movie. And I was like really thrown off by that.
Yeah, because when she shows up as the like instructor that next day, whatever, and does the turnaround, I was gonna sound like, we're doing this. I was like, we're doing this in the 80s, man. 80s. Yeah, but it shouldn't be surprising because you're right. That was like the thing in the 80s. It's like, oh, of course. The only thing that wasn't surprising is there wasn't some other, one night stand with another woman that she caught them with. Like that would be the only other thing that would have fallen in line with every other 80s movie.
Yeah, because that's what I was waiting for. It was like their conflict, but their conflict ended up being Goose dying in practice.
I was like, oh, don't tell me Goose's wife is gonna like fall for him now or something. Like I was then anticipating it. I'm like, this is what happens in these movies, these stupid storylines. But I mean, they kept it simple. Not that that was a good thing either.
Dude, Take My Breath Away, Danger Zone. Did Danger Zone get popular because of this movie?
Had to have, right? Had to have.
And also, one other thing. That Need for Speed line, I've heard so many times said in different things that it made me think that line was like a big deal in the movie.
Right.
It's not.
No.
They just say it while walking and then it's done. And I'm like, that really made you guys think, whoa, gotta say that all the time. The need for speed. And I've always just thought that there was like a bigger thing to that. There's not.
Yeah. I know. When I heard it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be throughout. This is where this comes from. We've had this with Goodfellas, right? Where it's like, oh, this is that meme or this is that line, and it does become sort of a bit. This was just like a line in the movie, and it just like it's still said to this day, and it's just like that one, just because it sounds good. But yeah, there was that was it. It was just a line in the movie, basically.
Dude, you can tell that like in the 80s, there were only like 10 channels. There are some things you watch and you're just like, you know what? Only one movie came out that week, that like month, maybe. Like who knows? Couple movies came out that month, and that's why everyone loves this one. Because gotta tell you, Top Gun, not my favorite.
No good. Oh yeah, overall, yeah, no good.
Not my favorite, Dan. No.
I will. I'll say two things. First of all, Val Kilmer is the man.
Oh,
I love that Val Kilmer's in this movie.
Excuse me, Val. No, apologies to you. I didn't mean
no disrespect to Val Kilmer
while saying this. No disrespect.
No disrespect to Val Kilmer. He's the man. He is the man. I didn't know he was in this movie.
Me either.
I went into this movie thinking I was not going to like it. Like this is one where I knew you and I hadn't seen it. It was going to be on our list, and I was going to be like, I don't want to watch this. I don't think I'm going to like it. I hear people talk about it. I hear friends talk about it. And I'm like, it just sounds lame. It's just going to be another 80s movie, whatever. And like, I guess I liked it more than I thought. I mean, do I need to, will I watch it again? No, but I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I didn't hate it. I don't know. I guess I was okay with it. I was okay with it. I'm kind of intrigued in the other ones, because there's is there an actual sequel? Like there was an actual second movie, was there? No, or was it literally 2022? I think this is it. I'm looking it up right now. No, I guess that was it. Wow. What, they blew a chance with that? I could have done so many different things. Oh my God.
So many different things.
Well, I don't know if I want to see the new one, because like I just said, I would have seen the sequel. And now I realized the sequel came out this year. I don't know if I'd want to see the sequel. But
the only thing that made me say maybe I would go see the new one is if I could see it in the biggest screen possible in IMAX.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the flight scenes now would look way better.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I really need to see the movie, but that's the only way I would watch the sequel.
Dude, that's a great point. If they're sticking with kind of the same theme, there's going to be a lot of those flight type of scenes, then it will look way better with today's technology and on a large screen. That's for sure. But I guess I liked it. Liked it. I say that because I didn't hate it. So like the alternative is, I guess I liked it. And I think I went into it with such low expectations, expecting to hate it. It kind of set myself up there. If I had been like psyched about it or something, I'm sure I would have been let down. But when you throw in Val Kilmer, it's like, all right, you got me now. That's a point. It already started with a +1. So yeah.
See, I was a little bummed just because I like action movies. This is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
People say this is the best one, and it's not.
Not a ton of action. Not a ton of action. Just a lot of drama in the skies.
Okay. Well, my last thought on Top Gun is two things. One, I don't understand why anyone loves Tom Cruise. I don't get it. If this was the movie that made him a movie star, I don't get it. I never have understood it, but like I'm of the generation that maybe my first thought of Tom Cruise is him jumping on Oprah's couch.
Yeah, a lunatic.
Yes. So it's hard to watch this, not think of that, but also just try your hardest to be like, what is it that made him? Everybody loves Tom Cruise. He's short, kind of like not likable in this movie either.
Yeah.
Kind of a dick.
Yep.
Like, a little bit. I don't get it. I don't understand Tom Cruise. Second thing. And I don't find him cool. I didn't find any of that edgy. None of it. I found none of it. Like I know the motorcycle, all that shit. I just found none of it cool. Second thing. Top Gun is Drumline. But Nick Cannon is so much more charismatic than Tom Cruise, and black marching bands are more interesting than fighter planes. Think about it.
That's
Top Gun
crazy.
Is Drumline. It's literally the same movie, just Nick Cannon and Tom Cruise, and I rather watch Nick Cannon than Tom Cruise.
Dude, that is unbelievable.
Same.
I'm like thinking of every aspect of it, from like the, I'll just call them like the leader or the instructor. And then like the person that's supposed to be better than them, or is like the senior or whatever, like every element of it, how they're like, oh man, that's fascinating. I don't know how you thought of that, but
dude,
it works. You're so right. You're so right.
Yeah, think about it. The love interest, he like loves the older girl in Drumline. He loves the older teacher, but 80s, of course. So it's got to be a teacher. Got to be like that. It's got to be a teacher because it's 80s. And then you look at it, it's like he's good, but he's like, he's great at it, but he's like too great at it that he like gets himself in trouble all the time.
He gets in his own way. Yeah, exactly.
Gets his own way. Yeah. He like leaves the program for a second. It's all the same. Like, it's literally the same movie. It's crazy. And this all came about because Goose died. Because once Goose died, the movie was basically background noise. So this was all going through. So I was able to collect my thoughts, write my notes down and all that. Because after Goose died, I was like, this movie is weird. But then it hit me. This is Drumline. It's literally Drumline.
I'm flabbergasted. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. And Drumline is a way better movie. Nick Cannon is way better in that movie. I will never. I cannot wait to tell that to everybody that loves this freaking movie. I'm telling that to everybody starting tomorrow.
Yep.
And you can't deny it. Come up with some evidence. You can't deny it. Yeah. Amazing. Hey, well done.
Oh,
well done.
You like Top Gun? You should watch a movie called Drumline. Yeah. With a better concept. It's literally, it's just like Top Gun. Drumline is Top Gun with just better, with things that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah. Nick Cannon and popular music done by marching bands.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna ruin some people with that, and I love it. I can't wait.
Oh yeah,
amazing analogy. Spot on.
Yo, you're welcome. Spot on. Well, I feel like that is a good way. What Top Gun? Dan liked it. It was there. Shouts to Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like that's a good way to move into what's been happening this past week. Drake released an album, Honestly, Nevermind, and it's got the internet split. They're hurting.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you think of Drake's newest surprise 7th album? He called it an album, not a playlist, not a just random project. He called this his 7th album. Go for it.
Well, he should stop doing albums then. Because they don't work. If this is what we're doing now, I mean, I was super excited, like everybody was last week when this surprise album came out. And it's like, okay, let's dive in. First song, halfway through, I'm like, what is going on here? Let's get to the next one. Halfway through, I haven't found it yet. Okay, this song's kind of long. Third song, and it just kept happening. And I'm like, am I searching for gold here? I don't have to do that on Drake albums. I don't have to search for the gold. The gold's all there. I mean, he couldn't have named it anything more perfectly. Like, honestly, like, Nevermind. I don't need that. Like, Nevermind. Forget it. Don't worry about it. That's what made me think, like, Nevermind. Don't worry about it. Just not. It's just not doing it. It's just not doing it, man. I don't know what it's all about. What are your thoughts?
I love it.
No, you don't.
I do. I love it. I don't like the first song. The first song is, I will honestly tell you, the first song is enough to get anybody to turn it off. Drake should take that first song and just take it off the album. Take it off.
It's a terrible way to start.
Take it off. It is a terrible way to start, but maybe he did it on purpose to basically tell people, like, this is going to be different. Get ready for different.
Yeah.
But after the first song, I like it a lot. I like the album all the way through. Like, usually when I'm driving around Los Angeles doing things that I'm doing, I'm listening to the podcast most of the time. But, like, I couldn't stop listening to this.
Wow.
I was amazed by the feeling, and the feeling is the dance floor. The feeling is outside, and this just made me feel like I needed to be somewhere dancing to this. I needed to be in a club listening to this album. The first time I heard it, I just thought it was. I was like, did Diplo produce this thing? I was like, what is happening here? You hear that there's so many different kinds of dance music on there, house music,
sure,
like African music, all that. And I just loved it. And Drake's been kind of doing this for his whole career, but it's been like, one song here, one song there, and then we get a full album of it. And I like it. but I understand if people don't like it.
Okay.
But I am a fan. I'm not calling anyone stupid for not liking it. I am just a fan of what he does here. I like it.
I actually had a coworker today say to me, she's like, is it weird that I unironically like this Drake album? And I said, I don't think so, but I need to know why. Like, you got to give me some sort of justification there. I do need to give it another shot because it just started off so sour for me, and I like basically couldn't make it through. And at that point, I just started like trying. I was digging for gold. I'm like skipping ahead. I'm like, give me something to work with here, and I couldn't find it. So I do need clean slate, bring the expectation back down. Maybe another cycle through will make it work. But like, the thing is, and this album really made me, I've always thought it, and I've never really needed to say it. And now this really makes me need to say it. Like, Drake, you don't have to literally put out every song you write. And I feel like, like these mixtapes and these albums and these projects, and it's like, nothing. What's on the cutting room floor of this album? I mean, I hope there's nothing there because it can't be good, but like, it feels like, and it's great that he puts out so much music, but it doesn't have to be everything, man. Like, and not every song needs to be as long. I don't think. He's just like, go. Let the people have it. And most of the time we all eat it up, but this just made me a little bit over the edge, go like, maybe take a little bit more time with this one. And like, maybe some songs could have been switched out. The first one. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of his stuff is not even the songs in length, but just like project in length. It was the first thing I looked for. I saw an album. I thought this thing is going to be 36 songs long. And I know it. It wasn't, but that's where my mind was, is like, oh, this is a 3-disc. Cool. I can't wait to dive into this every day this weekend. But I don't know. I do need to give it another fair shot, though. I will say that.
Yes. You need to give it another shot. You need to be in a different environment.
Yeah.
I feel. And I'm telling you, songs like Massive, songs like Sticky, Downhill. I love this album. And I think people are going to look at this album the same way that they looked at Taylor Swift's Reputation.
Oh,
a lot of people listen to that album, threw it out because it felt like she was doing a Rihanna impression on some of the songs. Once you skip those like first, I want to say it's like 3 songs. See a song with Future and Ed Sheeran, like that's a lot. Just like the big Reputation, like there's some stuff going on in that album that you're like, yeah. But once you get to like song 5 of Reputation, it's great. And like, I think people are going to respect this a lot more as we move forward. And another weird Drake Taylor Swift thing, which he actually tweeted a random picture of her at one point, like Instagrammed a random picture of her. And I was like wondering if this is what it was for, because at the last song on this album is just a classic Drake banger, him and 21 Savage, Jimmy Cooks. And it's just what you expect from a Drake album. Right. And she does that at the end of Reputation, like New Year's Day is the song at the end of that. And it's just like, hey guys, still here. This is me. Like, we're good. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he kind of did that on this. So like, you know, I'm
interesting. It's a theory.
It's a left turn, something that I feel like Drake kind of needed to do something different, to do something that maybe everybody doesn't like. But yeah, I don't know. This album makes me feel, it just feels good. I like it. I like it a lot. Give it another listen, to you and everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, you're right. Different environment. Give it another. Maybe I'll start just putting it on shuffle. Just put it on shuffle.
Just get number 1 out. Make a playlist and get number 1 out of there. It's right. It's a lot. Like, it's a lot of Drake singing. And listen, Drake is not the next person we're going to talk about. So please don't sing a lot like that.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
All right. Well, what do you think? Let us know at Brunch Breakdown. Do you like the new Drake album? Honestly, Nevermind? Or are you saying, honestly, Nevermind? Let's get into other things. Like Dan is. Let us know at Brunch Breakdown. And let's talk about the next person. Beyonce. She put out new singles of her album Renaissance that's coming out at the end of July. Break My Soul. Dan, thoughts?
Love it. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. And let me tell you something, because Beyonce's been doing some different things in the past few years. Her past few albums they're masterpieces, but they are different. They're not, written for the radio. They don't need to be. And they're stories. They're quite literally movies, right?
Yeah.
And so now when I hear Beyonce's going to release a song, my expectation it changed a while ago. And yeah, I expect something completely out of the box, and it's going to be different. And some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. It's, it's going to get played on the radio, but it's not going to be number one for all summer long. We back, baby. We're dancing to this thing. We are dancing to this thing. And I don't know what this album is going to be like, but I can't wait. I can't wait. This song is fantastic.
Dude, it's amazing. Like this is going to be the biggest song in the freaking world. This is the song of the summer. Like, sorry, Jack Harlow, you put out First Class too early, I guess. Yeah. But my God, because that was at the moment. Like I was like, I guess we're just gonna be listening to First Class by Jack Harlow all summer long. But no,
waiting for some of the summer. Yeah, man.
Holy, I mean, if this doesn't have everything you want for the summer, and she says "we outside" in the song. To let everybody know, like a halfway through the song, just to let everybody know, guys, I made this for outside. We are dancing. It just felt so good, because even though it's coming from Beyonce, but it's Beyonce like talking to the people, like release your job, release your stress. Really, it's like, yes, this is the song that we have needed for, like, this is it. Like, this is the song when we are all back outside. COVID's not gone, by the way, guys. It's not gone. It's not gone. But anyways, this is a song that we needed for this summer in particular. We needed this in 2022 when we were all going on vacation. We're going to have our first real 4th of July in 2 years. This is the song we needed for barbecues and cookouts and pool parties and everything. My God, Beyonce is just like, she's the president. That's it, of the world, not of the United States, of the world. That's it. She's the queen for a reason.
She really is.
Song's incredible.
She really is. The song's amazing. It's exactly what we needed. We got the Big Frida sample throughout the song is just incredible. We had to wait. It was like the week of summer, right? We just passed the first day of summer. It took that long to finally get the song of the summer. Sometimes it comes out way before that. You're right. I thought Jack Harlow was just going to ride the throne the rest of the year. But thank goodness for the queen, for quite literally the greatest concert and performance I think you have ever seen and probably will ever see. I think we can hang our hats on that one. But she saved the day. She really did.
Yep.
She saved the day. She saved the summer. And now blast this when we're all outside. I'm so excited.
God, is that song amazing?
That album, when that album drops, it's going to be crazy. People are going to be just pins and needles, man. Pins and needles.
And just that sample, and just using a familiar sample that we all know from just being at anything from the past 30 years. Like, it's awesome that like there are younger kids who are like, they have no idea that that's a sample from like a 90s like house song. That we've been hearing that all the time, sampled a million times, played on DJ sets at weddings and whatnot. We've been hearing that our whole lives. But there are people who are like, whoa, this new sound, this is crazy. And I'm like, I love that so much. Because like, oh my God, it's just everything about this song is just, it was exactly what I needed in my life.
Yes.
Exactly.
All hail the queen. Thank you.
All hail the queen. Thank you, Beyonce. We love you. Come to the Brunch Breakdown anytime.
Anytime. Door's always open. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, let's get into what we are listening to, which is obviously Beyonce's Break My Soul. We'll talk about that. But Dan, what are you listening to, man? What's going on?
First one up for me this week. I'm going to go with my boy Rex Orange County. Why not? Just got to, like I said, finally see him in concert. It was an amazing show. I didn't get in quite into the details of it, but it was an incredible show. It was weird that there was no opener, but you know what? For a show on, what was it? Like a Wednesday or Tuesday night, it was a beautiful thing to be out of there by 10:15. So thank you, Rex, my man. The band he had was great. He had a lot more energy than I was anticipating. I thought he'd be behind the keys most of the time, but it was a fantastic show. So, his album's been out for a little while now, and I usually I'm sure I put some things on when it first came out. But the album called Who Cares? And what did I say? He was amazing. There's a song called Amazing. I'll probably put Amazing by Rex Orange County on the playlist this week.
No, that's awesome. Shouts to you living in Pittsburgh, by the way, because I guarantee you Rex Orange County show in Los Angeles.
Oh gosh.
Probably had no opener, but I guarantee you it didn't start on time. I guarantee you it started at 10 o'clock because that's what happens. Lots of people ditch their openers for LA shows and then don't start the show until 9:30. Still.
Yeah.
So shouts to you.
Right.
Lucky man.
Very happy for
My
that.
God. Dude. Wow. Shouts to you. All right. I'm going to go with Dan. This song you're going to hate. You're going to hate it so much.
And Chris is
even here. I'm putting it on here because I don't even know if I'm going to like it. I'm not even know if I'm going to like it. I don't know if I like it. I'm still not sure if I like it, but I have to put it on the playlist. Mainly because Chris isn't here. And I imagine if he listens to the playlist, he will maybe enjoy this one, or Katie will. Natural by Breland. I love Breland. I think what Breland's doing with country and R&B music is awesome. But this song is interesting. Natural. Give it a shot.
Ooh.
Listen to the lyrics. Because I think
Mystery.
that's my issue with the song. If I can get past the lyrics, I could like the song. But man, is it hard. But I love Breland. It's my guy.
Yeah. Right.
I'm putting it on the playlist for that.
Okay.
And for you, Dan, just so you can probably skip it really fast.
Yeah. I'll listen to Drake's album afterwards and be like, I love this. Comparatively.
That's my trick.
That's your trick. Yeah. Second one up for me this week are girls. I'm going to put them on the playlist every time they release a song because I can't get behind this band enough. And I'm telling you, this is the final boarding call. Last chance. Get on board the train for the Aces. If you're not on board yet, we're running out of seats. This is it. Last call. Their brand new song that they just dropped, Girls Make Me Wanna Die, is amazing. It's up-tempo. It's catchy. It's guitar forward. And it is a great summery, windows down jam. Again, just what we needed for the summer. I love these girls. I love this band. The Aces, ladies and gentlemen, final boarding call.
Who are they going on tour with? They're going on tour with someone.
They are.
Like
Shoot. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going on a big tour with.
I saw it on somebody's poster. They're going on tour with somebody big.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who.
I'm gonna find
but
out.
Get in early because the Aces are great.
They're fantastic.
Straight up. I just can't remember who it was. But yeah, I don't know. You find that. Interrupt me.
Working on that.
Becky G just put out a new album. She's got a song called Baye Con Mi Ex. That's my Spanish accent right there. So that's as good as I get right there.
Clean.
Six semesters of Spanish, and that's as good as I get right there. But anyways, that is the song that I'm putting on the playlist, and it is super good. I love Becky G. I love what she's done with her brand over the last couple of years, man. Really leaned in to all the heavy Latin flavors and everything like that, and leaned into her heritage, really, and it's super good. And the album's really good, even though I don't know exactly what she's saying a lot of the times, but it jams. And that's how I feel about Bad Bunny too. But yeah, Becky G, Baye Con Mi Ex, song's fire.
She just performed on a award show not that long ago. I'm trying to remember which one it was. If it was the Billboard Awards or the Grammys. I can't remember what it was, but it was a really, really good performance. And you're right. She's really leaned into that. And I'm sure she hates the hell out of it, but singing in the shower is and forever will be a jam.
Yes.
Don't care what anybody says. And it'll get
forever
stuck
will be a jam.
Every time I think of it, it gets stuck in my head for days. And that's quality song.
Also,
yeah,
Becky G came out during Coachella, something that Dan says he's not going to this year. She came out of Coachella with Karol G, and it was fire.
That's true.
Anyways,
she did.
That's your weekly. Dan, you're going to really miss Coachella segment of the Brunch Breakdown.
It's going to be a long couple of months. The Aces on tour supporting Why Don't We? So
that's it.
That's going to be
not exactly. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a good tour for them.
Yes,
there is a Pittsburgh date, so I might have to. I've known that for a while. I've debated pulling the trigger on that. It's like 2 days before 21 Pilots is back, so it's gonna be a hell of a week. Okay, last one for me is Milk Blood featuring Paris. That's right, band right back here. It's another band you hear me put on here often enough. So they've got a song that they put out together called Wicked. And I haven't put Paris on in a while because they haven't put out new music in a while. And they're kind of going through this weird transition period right now, and not necessarily in their sound. They've been doing that for a couple of years. There's been this transition, but they're having issues with their label and this album that they're trying to write and release and want to tour and support. And there's some conflict there. So we're all kind of left with this empty void and trying to figure out what's happening. So wishing them all the best figuring that all out, but glad at least we've got this collab with Milk Blood for a song called Wicked. So it's heavy electronic, which fits with kind of the evolution of the Paris sound over the last couple of years. So Lynn Gutt and her voice works with just about anybody. So check out Wicked with Milk Blood in Paris.
Nice. Last song I'm going to put on here is, we talked about Post Malone a couple weeks ago.
We did.
And I lukewarm about the album at the time. Not anymore.
You've come
around. I don't know what it was.
You've come around.
I've fully come around
on
this. And I don't know what it was. It just all of a sudden, Wasting Angels is really good. Like, that might be one of my favorite songs of the year. Really good song. You get Post Malone in a good space. You get the Kid Laroi in a really good space. Because the thing about the Kid Laroi, when he's in the pocket, when he's doing what he does, it's great. And he's really doing it here. It's like Post Malone's doing a Kid Laroi song, it seems.
Sure.
And it's really good. And then I just love the lyrics of this song. I just love this song. And this is Wasting Angels. Freaking God, is that song good? Yeah.
Look at you coming around. All right. Maybe that'll be with me, Drake, in a couple of weeks.
It might.
We'll see. But I'm glad.
It might not.
It might not. We'll see. But I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, that is the sounds of brunch. And we will have, of course, Beyonce on there. I'll throw a couple of Drake songs on there as well. It's hard for me to choose because I love the album so much. But Dan, not so much.
Not so much.
Anyways, Dan, any final thoughts on this 104th?
104? I think that sounds about right. Yeah. 104. We'll hope to have Chris back next week. Thong or not, we will hope for the best. But if not, tune in for another brunch in 3D. What are you going to
do? Yep. And get your Brunch Breakdown thongs at brunchbreakdown.merch. We're out of here. Peace.